In today's episode, oh, there goes a car.
Take two.
In today's episode, we're going to try and start this engine up.
Action!
In today's episode, we're going to try and start this Vmax that hasn't run for 10 years.
You're on the Kodokuna Raida YouTube channel.
Well, hello, and in today's episode, we're going to try and start this bike up. So we found out when we turned the ignition on last time, we heard nothing from our V-boost. I have a suspicion it could be the module, but we also had no petrol pump noise going, and we had nothing when we pushed the start button. So we're going to go through these things one at a time and figure out what's wrong, and we're going to figure out how to fix it. And hopefully, fingers crossed, this beautiful bike is going to fire up again. Okay, so when we tried to start this last time, we had nothing to the switch. So first thing we should do is check our fuses. We have our fuses here, 4 fuses, and we also have our main power fuses here. So let's check them. I got some pliers because often they get stuck in. So let's have a look. Hope we can focus okay. So, hold it up to the light there. You'll see that little bar in the center is not broken. So that means the fuse is okay. If you see that little bar and it's broken, we know it's no good. But also, just make sure these 2 pins are not corroded. So if you're not sure how a fuse works, you just got power in and power coming out. So if where this power wire shorts or draws too much current, that little bar in the center there breaks and you've lost your power. So that one is okay. Okay. That one's okay. That one's okay. That one's okay. That one's okay. So, next, I think we should have a look at this switch. Now, we know this bike has sat around for more than 10 years without running. Now, the guy I got it from said he put a battery in and the motor wouldn't turn over. We know the motor's turning over. So now I think there's something. So, the switch. Oh, okay. So these switches are stiff, so we've probably got corrosion in there. Let me get the WD-40 and show you what I do and see if it works. Okay, so in Japan we don't have WD-40, but we have this Pure TRC 5-56. It's exactly the same sort of stuff. So all I do, if I have this problem with switches, just spray in my gaps here. Get a rag and dry that off. Oh, it's already loosening up. This one, oh, there it goes. I'm going to spray a little bit more in there. That's loosening up though. And we'll spray some down in our switch. It's a terrible day in Japan at the moment. It's been raining like this for about 2 days, but last night, it poured, and today. Terrible. So I'm sorry about the noise. Okay, let me get the key. Okay, now I've got no power connected at the moment. Oh, but that's turning. Yesterday that was a little bit stiff as well to turn. That's great. Okay, let's connect the battery up and see what happens now. Okay, so we've got ignition. We've got no power. If you remember, this is the solenoid. So how a solenoid works, it's just like a big switch. So you've got power in from your battery, and this one then goes down to your starter motor. So when we try and start it here, a wire, a signal comes down to the solenoid, connects the switch, connects these two cables, power goes through and starts our starter motor. So now I've got to check if the wire is broken. Now these have a wire. Oh, there it is. See that wire there? Oh, look at that. It might be that. I can see it. I can see it. There it is. So let me connect that up and we'll try again. Okay, I've connected that wire up. Normally it goes down through here, but I've connected that up. Here goes. Oh, you little beauty, it's working. Okay, now we know that also that our fuel pump is clicking, but are we getting fuel? Okay, so I just checked and there's no fuel in the tank. Now I don't want to put fuel in there because I want to pull that tank off and clean it all out. Okay, so what I've done is found a bit of fuel line, put some gasoline into a bottle. So let's see if that's going to suck up when I turn the ignition on. We've got nothing there, so something appears to be wrong with our fuel pump, which happens. Let's pull our fuel pump out and have a look at it. Okay, so our fuel pump is under our mount here. This is our mount for our overflow bottle and for our tank cover. So we've just got a couple of, oh look, that 10mm bolt's missing too. So someone's had this out. So I'm guessing they've tried to muck around with this pump. So let's take this out. You've got a couple of earths here. And these two nuts on the top are actually what holds your pump in. Let's take it all out and see if we can fix it. Oh, this side has got no bolts. So someone's had this out. Pull this off and see what we've got. Okay, so what I've done to make sure when I put it back together it's in the right place, I put a little mark here with a black marker here, here and here, so I can line it up no problems. So we've got to undo these screws. Now a fuel pump is easy. You've just got a motor and you've got two valves. One opens when it's sucking and one opens when it's pushing. It's quite simple. There we go. So here's inside our pump. So what happens when you turn your pump on, this goes up and down, which gives sucking. Now this diaphragm on the top here often perishes and cracks. Let me get my light. Okay. So I can't see any tear or anything in this diaphragm, but there's definitely signs of it wearing. Maybe okay. Let's have a look at this part here. Go somewhere. I've got another petrol pump, so let me go see if I can find the other petrol pump. that's going to suck anything up. The gasoline's going down the bottle. There we go. Oh! Okay, it's sucking gasoline up. There's a problem, watch. Whoa! Let's pull off the air box so we can put a new fuel line back to this pump. Okay, there we are. Air box is off. Oh, look. This is a non-genuine clamp here. So someone has mucked around with this before. Oh. And also, there should be a little bracket here that this hose goes into. So that hasn't been put back on. Okay, let's pull this hose off. Put a brand new hose through there. Some new clamps. And then we might, if we're lucky, be able to fire it up. Let's see. Pistons moving. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Okay, nothing sticky. Let's change over this hose. Okay, we're ready. I've got our pump in. I put a new hose line. I've rigged up this a little bit dodgy, but we're all connected up. Let's switch it. Okay, so fingers crossed, it might fire up. Here we go. Might not too. Oh, I can smell the gasoline. I got the choke on, let me switch that off. Oh, got a backbite, yes! Come on. Fantastic. We know the motor runs. Couldn't be happier. Ah, what a great feeling. Oh, should have checked that, whether the oil light went out, okay? Let me give it one more run. Oh, yeah. Okay. Okay, we've got oil pressure. So, we're going to go further now. And we're going to start fixing everything up beautiful and put this bike back together. What fantastic news. Oh, there's a little bit of a blur on the camera. Wait a sec. There we go. There was a little bit of water on it. Okay, that's great news. So that's it for today. Thanks a lot. Always remember, drive like you know each other. And I'll see you on the next episode. Bye-bye.
Thank you.